Boom, and welcome to the Big Honker Podcast, brought to you by Pacific Game Calls. Check them boys out at Game Fair this weekend. Andy will be signing autographs and drinking beer. I am Jeff Stanfield with the world-famous Andy Shaver.
I looked up the weather for Anoka. It's going to be beautiful.
70.
It's going to be in the 70s, and then we come home, and it's only going to be in the 80s with rain.
The high here Thursday is only going to be 81 now with a chance of rain.
Thursday?
This Thursday, 81. The next week is going to be 82, 82. Is that going to push our doves out?
I guarantee you.
Kind of was worried about that myself. Told Michelle, well, there goes a dove.
Well, there goes that for opening. It's happening early enough, so we'll see.
Yeah, that'll blend back in here.
I see that now, 88.
But, it's going to be 70 degrees is the high.
I'll take it.
I bought me a new Filson shirt. I'm going to take it to Game Fair with me.
Oh, goodness.
If it's 70 and 58, nice long sleeve shirt would be nice.
It will.
Be a nice deal today. Did you watch any preseason football this weekend?
No, I was busy.
Dallas Cowboys are in trouble.
That's what you say.
No wide receivers. God almighty. I'm telling you, when something happens to they're really struggling for receivers. And it's preseason, but boy, they just do not look. They don't have much when you get past their starting. They have no depth.
Let's get to our guest. We'll talk about this after.
Okay. With us today from Clarkston, Washington, Mr. Carl Adcock. Did I get it right?
For the most part.
You got it right.
Felt right. I don't know.
Now, you could have said you were from Pasco, right?
I could have. That's where I was born. And well, I actually wasn't born there, but I lived there pretty much all my life.
But your fiance would have given you shit if you just said you was from Pasco.
Yeah, she would have.
So does she wear the pants in this relationship?
She wears a big part of them.
We had a couple on here last week. It was like that. She definitely wore the pants in that relationship.
You could tell.
Now, is your fiance 20 years younger than you?
No, she's actually older than me.
Is that a Raiders hat that I see there?
Yes, it is.
I'm a diehard Raiders fan.
I think this is the year for y'all.
Oh, man. I'm optimistic every year, even when they, but yeah, things are looking good right now.
Adding Devontae helped out a lot, I think. They're my, can you say that they're a dark horse? I mean, I think anybody in that division could easily go 12-5 and.
Payne's picking them to go to the Super Bowl. He thinks they win the Super Bowl this year.
They're the only thing, that division, it's sickening.
My bold prediction for the football season this year is the Kansas City Chiefs do not make the playoffs. And I know I'm going to catch some shit, and I like the Chiefs. So it's not that I dislike the Chiefs, and I don't dislike Patrick Mahomes because I like Patrick Mahomes. I'm just being the blinders are off. I hate the Dallas Cowboys, but when the Dallas Cowboys are going to be good, I say, hey, I think they're going to be good. I think the Kansas City Chiefs do not make the playoffs this year. I think Tyreek Hill is a huge loss.
Yeah, I sure hope you're right. Yeah, that's a huge loss.
And Devontae's a huge addition for the Raiders.
Yeah, the Raiders got better. The Chiefs got worse. I mean, I had a guy that's a Chief fan that's a big fan of the podcast. I guess I had said something derogatory about the same thing I'm saying now. And he sent me a half-page email about why the Chiefs will go to the playoffs. And he left out the most important thing. Tyreek made defenses play their whole team different.
Right.
Because they were so worried about him. They don't have that factor now. Mm-hmm. I think they're still going to be a really good football team. They got a great coach, but I just think that they're the odd man out. I think Denver and the Raiders and San Diego, all three have I think are all going to be better this year.
Yeah, it's going to be definitely interesting.
It is. But like you said, if you can make it out of your division, make it into the playoffs, you got a shot. That's all you got to do.
Oh, I mean, yep.
You're not going to come across better competition outside of your division. Maybe Buffalo.
No.
But I mean, you got a tough road to hoe getting out of that division.
Yeah, I actually think Cincinnati's going to be in there again.
Think so?
Yeah, man, they're a tough team.
They are.
They need their defensive back to sign though. That's really going to hurt them. That Jesse Bates guy is a free agent or not wanting to sign. And they definitely are going to miss him on defense because they were not a great defensive team anyways. They were just so good on offense.
Yeah, yep. They were pretty dynamic.
I watched Hard Knocks. Have you seen the new Hard Knocks? Have you watched it, Andy?
Yeah, I watched the first one.
That was really good. I like Dan Campbell.
He's a little corny, but not bad.
Well, how is he corny?
Just some of the shit he says. Doing up downs with the team and all that stuff. Just, stuff that a guy on his way out would do.
So you don't think that Andy Reid's doing up downs with his guys?
I think it shows.
I think Dan Campbell's a man's man, and I think those kids like him. They got a good coaching staff there. I wish him the best.
I wish him the best. I just think he's just a little corny.
We were watching it last night.
He could thump my head in a moment's notice. I just think some of the shit he's doing is a little.
Mom goes, "Do you think they'll be good?" I said, "They have the same problem that about 12 teams in NFL have. It's called lack of quarterback. If you have a good quarterback, you've got a legit chance." That's why Kansas City still has a chance. That's why the Raiders, they have good quarterbacks. I have no faith in Jared Goff being any good.
Yeah, that's what I told Jesse. Like, put all this bullshit aside, they're gonna go 3-13.
It's who goes under the center.
Yeah,
I think they have a chance to win 6 games, which would be an improvement. I wouldn't fire him. They're building a good foundation there,
right?
But they've got to get a quarterback.
Yeah. Carl, do you know anybody that's going to North Dakota to do this? I guess hunting season has opened up in North Dakota. You know anybody that's out there right now?
I don't. We few months back, me and a couple of buddies, we were contemplating it, but I've talked to a few people on that. I was a big, Canada. Every year I'm going to Canada, and I went there for 11 straight years, and yeah, it killed me. It was devastating. That was my trip. And we talked about North Dakota, but I talked to a lot of guys that it right now tough to, just because that border was shut down, and that seemed like that's where everyone was going.
Oh, right. North Dakota is the new Canada for people that don't want to take the jab.
Yeah, what we did was obviously 2019 was last year I went to Canada. So what we did was, my brother-in-law lives in Montana, and he said, "Hey man, there's tons of geese up here. Why don't you guys come up?" And he's a big game hunter. And so I talked to a couple of buddies, and I said, "Well, let's go." We had no clue what we were driving into, nothing. We just took the trailer up and drove up, rented a house for 12 days. And, we got on OnX, and he kind of just pointed us out which direction to go and where to go. He said, "Get on this road, runs down the river, agriculture all the way down." He said, "You'll find tons of birds." So that's what we did. And we went down there. It was the first year, it was 2020, to Montana. And I'll tell you what, I have never in my life experienced that many Canada geese staging in one area. Never. I compare that to even going to Canada, because where we go in Saskatchewan, I mean, obviously the number of birds are more, but the variety of birds, that's why the number is so big. Our Canada geese in Canada, where we hunt, we're probably hunting, I'd say a number of 5,000 birds that's in that area. Right. Canada's, it's not a big number. But we shoot tons of specks, tons of snows, and then chase the Canadas around. We hunt the same. It feels like we hunt the same birds the whole time we're up there. But Montana, oh my gosh, I'm addicted.
You are going to get a lot of hate mail from the people in Montana, I'm afraid, spilling their beans.
Yeah. We were there for last year. Well, the last 2 years we went, and what I couldn't understand was hunting 10 straight days, and we literally hunted 10 days. We got fortunate, a lot of times you get up there, you got to waste some days scouting, finding birds. But we both years we went, we pretty fortunate, was able to hunt every single day. But we hunted 3 fields. That was it.
Rotate those fields. How close were they together? Like, were they within a couple miles? You would just push them here and then push them there and then back to where you were?
They were separated quite a bit. We pretty much had to drive about 70 miles every day. But the furthest field was about 75 miles, and I would say some separation of 15 to 20 miles on fields.
I tell you what, Montana's been a place I've known about for a long time. We've heard people talk about it, and it's kind of a quiet deal, kind of like New Mexico. They want to keep it quiet, and they don't want everybody to know about it. But that's just, Canada being what's going on up there, and now they don't want you to bring birds back and stuff. And I still say it's only a matter of time before they don't want the American dollar up there, and they don't want the American hunter. That's what it's coming down to.
I agree. And it's funny you said that, because I think it was on one of your podcasts that I heard you say that. I'd never heard that before, that you can't bring birds back
it's a new
now.
thing.
Right. Well, you couldn't bring them back from Mexico either, could you? I thought I saw Ramsey Russell say on his Instagram that was...
I don't think anybody ever from Mexico, but you can't even bring back birds to get mounted.
I understand.
Unless it's going to a USDA certified taxidermist.
Huh.
So you have to have a guy that's certified by the USDA, and they get the bird shipped direct to him.
Is that common? I wonder how many taxidermists go through that
probably very
process.
Rare. Probably pretty rare. But
well, what the hell do you do? I mean,
leave them there.
So you go to Canada, freelance goose hunting,
find some Indians,
and you can't bring birds
find
back.
some Indians or some Amish.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, that's one of the things I miss about Canada. The first year we went, I could tell you a quick story. So the first year we go to Canada, obviously we don't know anything. It's just a place we all wanted to go, man. That's a mecca of waterfowl. So me and a few buddies, we get together. I start setting it up. I actually got a hold of a game warden in Saskatchewan and actually talked to him. Super cool guy. One of the nicest guys I've ever met, or on the phone. And he was just kind of asking us what we wanted to do, what we wanted to hunt. We said, well, we like hunting Canada geese. That's our deal. Before I went there, I've never shot. Well, I maybe shot a couple specks in my lifetime, a couple snows. That was it. Anyway, he kind of directed us where to go. So we went. We planned a 15-day trip. We get up there, and there's no birds. I mean, we can't eat. There's nothing. So we're sitting there, and we're starting to get kind of depressed. I just planned this whole trip. I did this everything, and put. So I had all my buddies hyped up, and we're up there, and we're just going, what the hell? And so we said, you know what? Let's go to the bar. Let's go have some drinks. So we're heading to the bar, and all of a sudden drive by this ice cream shop. It was a small ice cream shop, and the owners lived on the top. So we said, let's go get chocolate shakes. Mm-hmm. So we pull in there. We all get chocolate shakes and meet this lady in there. Tell her our story. Just the nicest person you'd ever meet in your life. Anyway, make a long story short, now she's family. I mean, we're family. I mean, we go from that trip on. When we went up there, we stayed at their place. They had their house on top, probably had like 7 bedrooms. Mm-hmm. What they did was they rented bedrooms out to a lot of the oil workers. So they had tons of room, just awesome people. So after we met them, that's where we stayed, and obviously made our trip fairly cheap because of lodging and everything. But yeah, from those chocolate shakes, man, we met some great people, and man,
did your hunting turn around at all after you met these people? Did they have access to any fields? Did they kind of know the ways of the road?
So after we hung out with her for a little while, we did make our way to the bar. After having a few drinks, and we decided, well, let's just head north. And we probably went about 20 miles north out of town, and all of a sudden we found the birds. We found a roost that was holding, I mean, I couldn't even give you a number. I mean, the whole freaking lake was covered.
And it's such a sad deal because all the Canadian people, they're so nice, and so many of these towns, they rely on the American dollar. The Canadian government is the one that doesn't give a shit about Americans coming up there. But the country folk in Canada are some of the nicest people you ever meet. Non-committal as a motherfucker. Like, you'll talk to somebody for 30 minutes just to try to get a yes or a no, and you'll get a lot of maybes. But they rely on the American dollar coming up there to stimulate these towns.
Yeah, yeah. And the odd thing where we were is the first year, and I'll say for 10, 11 straight years, when we go out hunting, if we hear a gunshot or see a hunter, we're shocked. The first year we went, we found a field that was just stacked. I mean, it was incredible. So we're trying to figure out who owns it. And we see right on the other side of the road, there's like a little, a couple of gravel piles, and there was a guy in a loader.
We froze.
Talked to him, and we're asking who owns it. He said, "Oh yeah, it's so and so in town. Hey, just follow me." So we're following this guy in a big front end loader through town, and he pulls us into this little house, and he said, "That's the guy right there." And we went and got permission. It was the first field we ever hunted in Canada. So we get out there. We're expecting, some other hunters around. And I'm sitting out there going, "Are we legal? I mean, are we not in the right spot? I mean, how did no one else see this field?" And for 10 straight years, no one. We have no hunters around us. I've never ran into another hunter up there.
That's a good problem to have, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not going to disclose the location either.
There's a chance you might get back up there one day.
Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen with all of this, but this not bringing birds back, I don't think really plays a big factor, because I don't know many people that go to Canada just to shoot for the meat. I mean, most people are trying to find somebody to take the meat anyways.
For the large majority, but what if you shoot this nice
a mountain
Quill
bird.
Lake or something like that?
Yeah, to get bird to get mounted. I guess you'd go to a Canadian taxidermist and drop it off there, and maybe he can ship it to you after he does it. But the reason they're doing this is on the bird flu. That's why they're not wanting you to bring meat back.
But fuck, we're 3 months away from all these birds crossing that imaginary line anyway. What the? Whoa,
hold on. You saying the government should use common sense?
I mean, fuck.
That's the problem.
Teal have just come from up there.
Yep. Representation we do not have. They tax the shit out of us, but they don't represent us.
We're not even 3 months from that. I mean, we're 2 weeks away. We're about a month away.
There's teal in Texas already.
But we're about a month away from birds crossing that imaginary line. What are we going to do then?
Yep.
Put a fucking net up? Keep them all in Canada?
Yep. What is the story where y'all are at? Y'all have got a bunch of local birds that live there. Are y'all having any bird flu problems there?
I've never heard of any. I was talking to a buddy about it, and he's a little small outfitter, and he said he's never heard of anything in our area.
Legit in some places, there is the bird flu. There's no doubt about that. Here's the thing. The problem they have is nobody trusts the government on anything. I mean, monkeypox was going to shut everybody down. They found out if guys that quit having gay sex, there was not that much monkeypox going around. Well, obviously, there's not as much gay sex in the world as they think there is, because monkeypox has kind of fallen off. So that's gone now.
Did you see where a dog has monkeypox now?
I don't even want to know how he got it.
It was laying in bed with its owner who has monkeypox, and I guess it was licking the wounds, and now the dog has monkeypox.
Well,
so
that's the story. They're sticking to it, huh?
I guess. I don't know how this is transmitted or whatever.
Can you imagine being the first heterosexual male to get it? You'd be like, "Listen, guys, I'm telling you, I got it on a toilet seat at a bathroom somewhere."
just like the Raider rash.
That's right.
So when do y'all open up? September 1, where you are?
No. Where I'm at, we really don't start goose hunting until November. Years past, we would start hunting a little before Halloween. Other than that, we don't start getting our push of birds till November.
That just shocks me, because where you're at, in regards to North Dakota and South Dakota, you're just as far. Y'all live in one of the, I think probably, if I had to circle a place in the country and say the best waterfowl hunting in the United States right now, I'm going to say Eastern Washington is where I'm picking. Is good, because you're far enough north. No matter what happens, you're going to get a push of birds every year. But it shocks me
Yeah.
that y'all don't open up sooner than that, as far north as y'all are, because we open up the same time y'all do. And we got a ton of calendar birds here.
Our season opens mid-October, but we just don't have the birds. I mean, we got a number of local birds, but if you're not hunting close to the river, you're
Now,
you're
do
out
your
of
birds stay there all winter long, or will they push out and then you'll get a fresh push in?
Yeah, they'll push out. Years past, I'd say back in the late 90s, we had big numbers of lessers. Now we just we don't get near as many. And the funny thing is that migration's changed so much where last 4 years we got snow. I mean, we got tons of snow geese. I mean, I'd say every single time you go out, there's snow geese everywhere now. Cause last year was the first year we actually set up.
Did you do any good?
Yeah, we had a couple good hunts. Gosh, man, they're pricks.
Yeah.
They drive me nuts. We hunted last year, one of the best shoots on snow geese. I mean, not crazy good, but it was good. We had a field. It would have been just kind of north of us, maybe, a mile, 2 miles, but it was stacking with snow geese. So we decided, well, let's go after them tomorrow. So we set up. We were in a winter wheat field, and just throughout the kitchen sink, and every bird, and we had no wind, nothing, everything against us, using socks and no wind, and we were getting big spins all morning. Yeah, and most of those guys there, they've never seen that before. I've obviously, Canada, I've seen it. I've got a little experience kind of knowing how to do it now, and we can't use, in Washington, we can't use any motorized anything, so that kind of sucks. But yeah, the snow goose hunting is incredible. So yeah, we all talk about it, the migrations changed, and I don't know. I've had a lot of guys tell me that snow, and I don't know if this is true, but it kind of makes sense. That you get snow geese push into your area, they push Canada's out.
It's definitely a possibility. It's something that I've thought about before. Like, do specklebellies and Canada geese not? Because that's what we mainly see now. And we had a big drought in 2011, and we lost all of our Canada geese. Well, they replace, and every year specklebelly. We've been seeing more and more and more and more specklebellies, and I just kind of thought the same thing you did. Maybe the specs in Canada's don't really jive. We don't get. A couple years ago, we got a bunch of snows, but we haven't had that in a couple years now. But it's something to think about. I mean, snows. Listen, they're pricks. They eat up everything.
Yeah.
So maybe Canada's realized that, and they see how these snows and specks maybe they put too much pressure on the food supply, and they're like, "Fuck this, we'll just go somewhere else."
Yeah,
we're going to see some changes this year because of the drought in the Central Flyway. I don't know what y'all's drought conditions are where y'all live at, but the whole Central Flyway's got major drought conditions.
Well, we'll see, though, because now they're calling for a bunch of rain here starting at the next week.
It can change,
so,
but
it could change like that.
But the food sources are way off. Kansas and Nebraska, the corn, and now we were told they were plowing peanuts up out around Lubbock and some places. They ran out of water.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Oh, that's around Plainview or somewhere. They got a bunch of peanuts, and they ran out of water, and they had to plow them under. Now, I don't know if it's one guy did a field or 50 guys did fields. That's just what I was told.
Right.
So, but that stuff right there is going to be a major factor in the wintering this year, because the year we lost a lot of our Canada geese in 11 when the drought was here, we had peanuts. We had no water hardly, and we didn't have very many peanuts. So what happened was those geese got down here, and they couldn't find food, and they went to Lubbock where they had water, and they moved to Lubbock, a lot of those birds. Well, if a lot of them peanuts are gone, we maybe get their birds back here, which we have water, but we don't have water like we normally do. But nobody does right now. But that can, like you said, that can change in one storm.
Sure.
This little tropical depression that hits South Texas, if that would have moved up here, that 10 inches of rain in Brownsville, if we'd have got 10 inches of rain, we'd be completely full of everything again.
Yeah.
So it just takes one deal.
Well,
So
we'll see.
what's y'all's drought conditions where y'all are at?
You know, we've had the most rain
That's
we've
not a
had
drought
in
then.
years. Our spring was unbelievable. We got good rain into June, and we hardly ever get that. But you know, where we hunt, I look at it. You know, droughts don't really, because all of our birds are on a river system. You know, on the river. Obviously, that's always going to have water. So to me, it doesn't affect us. I mean, besides maybe pushing birds into our area that have to come there now.
Yeah, it's handy whenever you're relying on river systems and not like ply lakes like we are, because they'll go dry, but you're in a good situation. What's the crop that you hunt most of the time? Is it corn? Is it beans? Oh,
corn and
winter
wheat. Corn and winter wheat.
Do you?
We actually hunt. It's a wheat. It's called triticale. The place that we got, it's a good friend of mine. We've been really good friends since kindergarten. Anyway, they got a farm, probably about 1,000 acres. He's got like 6 circles on it. And it's all they run a big feedlot, 7,000 head, and grow corn and wheat. And that's and where we're at, it's pretty much all corn, wheat.
Well, are you only hunting? Do you get a big group of lessers that come through, or is it mainly the big boys?
We get some pushes of lessers, not near like we used to, but yeah, on a day-to-day basis, we're definitely hunting the big birds.
Y'all kill a lot of widgeons?
Yes, there's a good amount of widgeons here. That's one of my favorite ducks to shoot.
Have you shot any Eurasians?
No.
No Eurasians. Have you seen a storm widgeon yet?
No, I haven't. And to be honest with you, I don't do a lot of duck hunting anymore. I went all in with the Canada goose, man. I'm a different breed when it comes to hunting that bird. It's just, my buddies that call me and, hey, let's go kill some mallards in the morning. And it's hard for me to not go goose hunting. Even if I'm, not sitting on anything good, I still just something about goose hunting. So really, the only time I shoot ducks now is if we shoot them in the field.
Right. If you shoot them in the goose field.
Yeah. Years ago, this has changed too. We would have a lot of stubble cornfields. And if you could find a stubble cornfield by any type of feedlot, you're gonna crush ducks. That was back late 90s, early 2000s. Now, it's very, very seldom do you see the ducks hitting the corn because they are completely nocturnal when it comes to feeding.
That's weird too, because you're hearing a flooded corn turn. Do you have flooded corn there? No, but that's just so weird because everybody's saying that it's the flooded corn that's turning the ducks nocturnal. You're 2,000 miles away from any flooded corn, and your ducks are still nocturnal.
I scratch my head all the time on that, going, why aren't they hitting it? Why aren't they I mean, honestly, I'm even kind of guessing nocturnal because you're not seeing them feeding the cornfields. I don't anyway. Not very often. And what's strange is because back in the day, it used to be. I mean, it was great. But it's changed. I just don't see very many ducks anymore.
I think we're living in the middle of a major problem that we're going to be facing down the road.
What?
Ducks, a mallard duck especially, is probably the most adaptive bird there is. Mm-hmm. They live in Disneyland. They live in Disney World. They live in sewers. They live in city parks. They live in South Texas. They stay year round. They live in the Arctic Circle year round. I mean, they adapt to anything. And they are now breeding themselves. The genetics are breeding themselves to where they've become a nocturnal feeder. Mm-hmm. Now, you can go to Wichita Falls right now, and it's August, and there's a guy that lives in a neighborhood that feeds a bag of corn in his front yard every day, and these ducks fly out of all the city lakes, and they go to his front yard, and there'll be 500 to 1,000 of them in a neighborhood, and they'll eat corn in his front yard every day during daylight hours, not at night. They know. But those same ducks, when winter gets here, those ducks will feed in the cornfield late at night, and they won't feed till then. They know when hunting season starts. One of them son of a bitches can read the hunting regs, I'm telling you. But they
can tell time.
They have found out, especially all through Missouri and Nebraska, where they're doing all this flooding and stuff. These ducks don't feed during the daylight hours,
right? But
and I don't even in bad weather they don't really anymore. We're witnessing a major change, and I don't know what the cause is. Is it that much pressure on the flooded corn?
But he's not anywhere near flooded corn,
right?
And he's seeing it.
Yeah, and are they just adapted?
Are they crossbreeding and making each other smarter?
I don't know.
Maybe a Missouri duck bred with a Washington duck, and now all of a sudden the Missouri genes. But feed at night, motherfucker. But you'll live.
This is just something that's happened in the last 10 to 15 years.
Yes.
I mean, before that, you never heard about this happening. I mean, if it was a day and it was a mild day, you might not see the ducks hit the cornfield until the last 30 minutes of shooting time or right at shooting time. But now they're 2 hours after shooting time.
We need more people hunting on Indian land in Canada and just blasting those fuckers at night, and then maybe they'll switch back.
I don't know. Here's my answer to that, and someone's going to laugh at this, which I don't give a shit. They can laugh anyways. But these places that are flooding corn and the birds are feeding all night, put some poppers on there. Those propane cannons that you see around feed where they don't want birds at, put them at nighttime and shoot them, keep them off there at nighttime.
Well, then what are you going to do when you run them out of your area?
Well, they're going to feed. They're hungry. They'll probably come during the daylight.
I don't know. I think that's just a recipe of pushing them out of your area.
Well, you're not getting to shoot them anyways.
Well, don't fucking make it to where somebody else is.
Well, I don't know. I mean, there's got to be...
Listen, if I'm not having good hunting, nobody's having good hunting. And if they're going to stay on my place all night long, fucking let them. But nobody else is going to go shoot my fucking ducks.
Somebody said a bunch of mallards will wipe out a flooded cornfield in about a week. A big field, 80-acre field, will be gone in a week if they feed all night long and nobody fucks with them. Because if they land in the daytime, you're hunting it, so you're pushing them out a lot.
Right.
But at nighttime, nobody jacks with them.
Predator comes in and blows them out. And...
Yeah, predator ain't going to bother them during the night.
No, they're scared. They're scared of the dark too, Jeff.
But you think about these ducks are feeding on these places from 6 o'clock at night till 4 in the morning, and nobody's jacking with them at all.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what's going on. But it's crazy that you're seeing it too, Carl.
Yeah, I and I don't know what other guys are seeing kind of north of me, because I do hear some guys every once in a while getting them in the cornfields. But yeah, where I'm specifically at, it used to be one way, and it's not anymore.
Are you seeing warmer winters? I wonder if that has something to do with it.
Yep.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing warmer winters. We used to get a ton of snow, a lot of snow, and we don't, like last year, I probably hunted in the snow a couple days. Our weather, typically, November, we get around Thanksgiving, we typically get a really, really cold front end where we're down into the single digits in, a couple weeks. And after that, honestly, we're hunting 30-some degree weather.
We're going to have a big snow this winter. We're going to have some big snow. The weather patterns and models are starting to show that this is going to be a really wet winter. And here's what's going to happen. If we do get a couple of blizzards, the White House is going to it's all going to be because of this green energy shit. That's what they're going to say. But we're just in a horrible cycle right now.
What I'm so afraid of is forever we've been saying it's all weather related, it's weather related, it's weather related. What's going to happen on the year that we find the stars align and we get this fucking winter for the year, for the decades, and nothing changes? Then I'll be that will be a sad day for me because I've at least got this. Well, it's just the weather. It's just the weather. But here's what I can already tell you my excuse for what it's going to be. It's going to take a couple years of this weather for things to magically reappear.
We have to have snow. That's
I
the
agree.
key.
I'm not
because that covers up the food sources.
I agree.
But until we get a big snow, I think if we got a big snow, you'd see a big push in the migration.
Right.
Because when it got down to 20 below zero, that's in February, like it did, we had ducks here, but we didn't pick up any new geese. And it was time they were already starting to go back and stuff, but they just hunkered down because there wasn't a lot of snow with it.
Right.
So they didn't have no reason to, they have to get away from the food.
We'll see.
But we definitely need a change. What's the weirdest bird you've shot on the West Coast?
I'd have to say, years and years ago, it was back when I was in high school, probably 92, we shot a Canada goose. And honestly, maybe you guys can educate me on this. It was just, pure white. It looked just like a Canada goose. Besides the black, it was brown.
Here above us, we got one.
Not if it's pure white, like he said.
It was, what do they call those? A Lewistic?
Maybe a Lewistic. Yeah.
Yes.
Did you get it mounted?
Yes. Yeah.
It was
Collared.
collared? No. Holy shit.
Did you get it
That's
mounted?
a fucking unicorn.
No, I didn't. I wasn't the one who shot it. I know this is a story me and my buddies talk about all the time. How my one buddy took it home, going to get it mounted.
Oh, that's a trophy too, boy.
What'd he do with it? He didn't let it spoil, did he? Oh,
I think so.
That's a fucking sin.
Mm.
Yeah, it was bad. Other than that, honestly, I never shot anything crazy. I've been goose hunting for 35 plus years, and I've probably in my lifetime 4 bands.
Where do they all come from?
Yeah. Most of them, I'd say every single one of them came from where we're at. Back a while ago, years ago, they banded a bunch of birds at the park, and we actually got into them. And I think that was the only band I've ever shot. All the stuff in Canada, I've never shot bands. Never shot anything in Montana. No, Idaho.
That's just bad fucking luck.
Yeah, I see all the guys with all the bands, and I start thinking, I don't think I'm in the perfect area to shoot bands, but I've never really. I haven't shot a band for 20 years.
2002. That's crazy. Yep. Especially going to Canada, like you said. Like the year I was in Canada, I think we shot like 4 in like 3 weeks.
Yeah, no bands. When we go to Canada, we don't shoot huge numbers just because we don't have a big group of guys hunting with us. There was a few times where it was just me and my fiance hunting, just me and her. So, obviously you're not going to shoot a ton of birds.
So you got a good one if she'll go up to Canada with you.
Oh yeah, she loves it. She does it's perfect for her there because it's not cold. But if it gets cold, she's not going out.
You talked about no weird birds. When you're shooting mostly geese, unless you shoot some sort of hybrid, which we kill a Spec Canada every year. We killed 2 weird birds last year, and they're both getting mounted. You're not going to shoot much. With ducks, you got a better chance of shooting some kind of weird duck or something off the wall.
Yeah,
there's only 4 species of geese in the United States. There's Canadas, Brants, Specks, and Snows. Right. I guess there's a Ross, but that's basically, you're limited to 5. Where ducks, there's 30, 35, or 36 species of ducks. Mm-hmm. So you have a lot more better chance of killing something weird, and it's crazy because that area where you are, I always think of people shooting the Eurasian widgeons because they get blown off out of Russia over here in the storm, and you're seeing more and more of them on the West Coast, further west of you.
And I could be wrong too. These guys could be shooting, I just haven't been on there doing it for a while.
So when did you fall in love with the Canada Goose? When did this obsession happen?
My parents always told me when I was just a little kid that I was fascinated with geese. And I got people ask me all the time, how'd you get into it? And I can't really answer it, man. My oldest brother took me out goose hunting one time when I was pretty young. Well, I was even too young to hunt. And it wasn't even a traditional goose hunt. There was an area where there was a bluff where guys set up blinds and they pass shot. And I went there with him one time, and he actually shot a couple of geese. And that was really the only buddy who introduced it to me to the actual hunting. But my mom especially always told me, she goes, yeah, from day one, you were something about the Canada Goose. I think I'm, from just addicted, man. I'm a different breed, man, when it comes to goose hunting. I can honestly tell you from January, when our season ended last week of January, I haven't put my goose call down one day. I told myself, especially COVID, you kind of, the earlier times, blowing a goose call to me is like anybody, picking up a guitar, any musical instrument. I just enjoy it. And I myself that, I'm just going to learn every single note on a goose call. And that's I would say from last January to today, shoot, I'm on my goose call every day for at least a half an hour. There's some days, man, if I'm not doing anything, I'm
so what are you doing? Are you just practicing like one note? Are you practicing like sequences, or are you trying to build speed? What are you hoping to accomplish with this?
A lot of times I don't even feel like I'm practicing. I'm just blowing it. But yeah, I would say 4 years ago, probably around 4 years ago, I've never used a quick spit before. Never use it. I've always been a really good goose caller. I would say just a really good goose caller. Nothing, spectacular, but a good goose caller. Clucks, moans, all that stuff. I was good. And about 4 years ago, I was introduced to the quick spit, and I heard it and just went, "What the frick?" And I said, "I got to get that." So I worked on that. That was by far the hardest note I've ever tried to learn. But when you got it, you hit it, it's like, God, it's just a dumb moment. Like, how did I not have that?
It's a deadly note for sure.
But yeah, I'm telling you, everybody I hunt with, that I personally hunt with, last year was the first time I've ever hunted with anybody that could actually was pretty good on call. I got another buddy that, I've been working with, we've been working on his goose call, and he's starting to get fairly good. But I've never hunted with anybody else. It's always just been me calling. That's it. So last year when we put 3 guys together was the first time I've ever experienced, group calling. Team calling.
You pit hunt?
Pretty fun.
You hunt out of pits?
Yeah, we got one pit that we leave in year round. And last year was the first year that I went to A-frames. And my goodness, I never hunted out of a laydown.
It's a game changer for sure. I hate layouts.
Yeah. And people around here, I don't know anybody that hunts out of A-frame.
So your birds hadn't seen it.
Matter of fact,
you're revolutionary in your area then.
Yeah, because my buddy, he's an outfitter here, and a small outfitter. But I sent him a picture of it, and he's never hunted out of them. He's never even really looked at them. And I said, dude, they're a game changer. I can set this A-frame anywhere on the, I only hunt edges. I don't mess with trying to get out in the middle. I've done it a little bit in Canada, and every time I'm out there, I'm just going, oh my gosh, I feel uncomfortable. I feel like I just can't do it. I see a lot of, stuff on, some of the YouTube channels and watching guys hunt. It's like, I just don't think that
Hunting
would
in the
work
middle
here.
with the A-frame.
Yeah. There's one question I'll ask you guys on decoys. What do you guys use?
Go again?
Do you guys use all
Yes.
dive bombs?
Yes, all dive bombs. Dive bombs,
Okay.
silhouettes, and then dive bomb socks. There was a period last year where we ran. This is the last 2 weeks of season, maybe, and we started running full bodies just because the hunting was so incredibly tough. We tried everything. We ditched the A-frames and started laying in the middle. We went back. We dug holes again. We got on the edge. I mean, we got on the edge with no A-frames. So
We went old school.
we tried a lot of different things just to see if it was, are they seeing the same thing too much? Maybe full bodies are what we need, all whites. We did a lot of different things. So, but 90% of the time we're running socks and silhouettes from dive bomb.
Yeah, I don't run them, and I don't know anybody else that runs silhouettes around where I'm at. I've always wanted to look into, building my spread a little bit with some silhouettes. Our geese are a lot of guys use Dave Smith's, and it's a phenomenal decoy, but
a lot of guys I know Trevor Austin from
expensive.
Pacific Calls, he uses stuffers. I know a lot of guys in that area, they'll use stuffers.
I had a trailer with 100 stuffers in it. That's all I used. They're kind of a pain. And nowadays the plastics, are so nice. I just went away from them.
It's not going to hurt anything to get 10 dozen dive bombs, a couple $100, and you got bags, and it's a cheap investment to really, really bolster the numbers that you can throw out on any given day.
I think you would be shocked.
And if nobody, honestly, it's kind of like the A-frame. If nobody in your area is using them, you look like a fucking genius if it does work, because you're only out a couple $100, worst case scenario. And if nobody's using them and you're the only game in town and that's all that they see, that might be the curveball that you need whenever things get tough.
Yeah, I've been looking at them. I'm just about to pull the trigger on 10 dozen.
Get the ones with the flocked heads.
Good. I like the way look. They
do.
look
Yeah,
good
get
in
the
the
ones with the
field.
flocked heads, because that'll give a lot of contrast. So the heads are flocked, so you get this nice dark, deep black, and then it just really, really adds a nice pop into your field. You're not gonna, even if you hunt them and you're like, what, fuck it, I'm a full body guy through and through. Fucking sell them on the trading post, and somebody will take them. Somebody's always looking for more dive bombs.
Yeah. I'm also, when it comes to decoys, you got your honkers, your lessers, your cacklers. I always use small
decoy
decoys.
spreads.
That's just I like using small decoys. My decoys are almost, they could be almost cacklers. And I use them just for space. I can load my trailer with a ton of them. And I have shot big birds everywhere. I have no issues with big birds coming into those
Birds
small
have
decoys.
no depth perception.
Well, I mean, they do, but they don't.
Well, see, I've heard that, and my question on it is, if they don't have depth perception, why are we putting out these big decoys?
That's because we think that he's talking about big, taller decoys. Like you're talking about the size of the decoys, right? Not the amount in the spread. I can go, I can go both ways on it. Even the size of the spread. When I first got in the hunting business, which would have been in the early 90s, when we were shooting small Canadas and we were shooting a limit of birds every morning, and I say every morning, it was every day we were done by 8 o'clock in the morning. I was putting out 10 dozen real geese silhouettes back when that's all I had. Had 10 dozen real geese silhouettes, and I had 4 dozen G&H field decoys, and we had a half a dozen 747s, the ones that are 4 foot long or whatever it was. And those small geese, everybody says you got to have a big spread. Yep. Well, we didn't have to. We were on the X. That's the most important thing, is being on the X. But I don't think the size of your I think you could take mallard decoys and paint them up like Canada geese and put them in the field, and you're going to get the same response on a hot field as you're going to from putting out all Dave Smiths or whatever, dive bombs, whatever you want to use. I really believe that if you're on the X.
Well, I think all bets are off if you're on the X. I could go out there and set a fucking field duck spread and have 17 geese decoys and just run roughshot through them on the X.
Yeah, on the X. That's what. Yes, you're right. But I don't think that if you're hunting a good place, I don't think the size of the decoys matter. I really don't.
I don't think anything matters.
But
I think fucking get hit halfway decent and just
the hide.
Don't step on your dick when they're trying to come in.
But those tough big birds that you're hunting up there, that you see the same local birds that have seen the same thing all the time, I don't know that you could get by with using. I don't know. I think you're going to have to be more to what they're seeing all the time. The standard's different. I think hunting graders that are staying a place 12 months a year is probably one of the hardest birds to hunt. Would you agree, Andy?
I don't know, because I've never done that.
Well, that takes you out then.
when have you done that? Hunted a place that's had birds 12 months out of the year?
I haven't, but it would seem like it would be tougher to hunt a bird that goes to the same fields every day and they see the same stuff.
Right. But that's where but if my thinking is, if you do one thing for half of your season, if you do things one way, and you'll vary a little bit here and there, and then you totally flip the script for the last month or 2 weeks, 3 weeks, that flipping of the switch, either one way or the other, is what gets you good hunting. So if you're only running these pristine stuffers or whatever it may be, the last 2-3 weeks of season, if your birds quit coming into that because they're conditioned to seeing that,
you have nothing to lose.
Put out some 2-dimensional dive bombs, get them set up in the right way, make sure your hide is what you want it to be, and then that flipping of the switch could be what swings the pendulum back in your favor.
I find it hard to believe that stuffers would never not work. That just blows my mind. It's a goose. I mean, a decoy is a decoy, but a stuffer is a damn goose. And that just blows my mind that people will say, because I've had other guys tell me, yeah, late in the season, them stuffers, they get shy to them. If they're shy to fucking stuffers, they're going to be shy to fucking goose.
Yeah. I don't see how a goose can get shy to a stuffer. The only downfall to a stuffer, and I don't even think it's that big of a deal, is motion. You're not getting any motion with them. But I'm a firm believer too that those big Canada geese don't like a bunch of motion.
They don't like other geese.
Yeah. They're dicks.
Yeah. I think it's the only goose, the Canada goose, if you're hunting the X and you're hunting the big boys, I think that those honkers, you have to be where they want to go, because they'll short stop you. They know where that food is. They know where they want to be. And I've seen it time and time again with those honkers. If you're not in that spot where they want to be, they're going to come close to you, but they're going to short stop you. We hunted a field last year that we probably had. It's probably only a couple hundred birds going in there, and the wind was completely wrong where we wanted to be. And so we decided, you know what, let's just get where they want to be. And the wind is what it is. We had 15-mile-an-hour wind in our face. And I mean, if your hide is good, you can shoot geese with the wind coming over. Yeah. I mean, it's very uncomfortable shots sometimes, but if you have to do it, I've done it, and
Yeah, you're
it
shooting them in the
works.
ass most of the time, or you're shooting them on a
Um,
swing.
100% of the time. Yeah. But those honkers where we're at, they get pretty conditioned, and later in the season, you gotta be perfect on everything because we're not getting big. If we don't have a big push of lessers in there, we're just hunting those big birds. We're maybe seeing 6 flocks in the morning, 5 flocks, somewhere in there. So we can't afford to be wrong on anything. So you got to be pretty dialed
Yeah.
in with
How
them.
much hunting pressure do y'all have? That makes a
Ton.
difference too. If they're seeing
It's
10 different fields with the same spread of stuffers or the big deals, that's another reason I think the dive bombs will work real good. I mean, they don't see that.
If you're
Something
like
new.
I said, if you're the only one,
Yep.
just like with the A-frame, if you're the only guy that's doing this, I think it's something to try.
Like where we're at, you think about the top things you need to do. What's the most important thing? A lot of guys say scout. Scouting's number one. You got to be where the birds are. Well, where we're at, honestly, scouting's out the door. You're not. The only thing you're scouting is where you're going. When I have because I live in Clarks, I'm 2 hours away from where I hunt, and where we hunt, we can only hunt Saturdays and Sundays and Wednesdays for geese, and holidays. So I'm obviously 2 hours away. So I got some guys that scout, and they'll drive out there. Yeah, there's no birds in the field. Well, you just got to get out. What we're scouting is traffic. If we got some traffic going through there, we'll be fine.
Make sure the flight line's over you and you're good to go.
Yeah, 90% of the time last year was all traffic. That's it. We were hunting traffic birds. I think we had last year was pretty rough when it come to hunting the X. We probably hunted it 3 or 4 times. Other than that,
Now, how many birds
traffic.
are you killing on a normal? What's your limit up there?
We
4
shoot
geese.
4
How many
geese
guys
a
are going
day.
out on an
4
average day?
On an average day, shoot, we got
So you can
4
shoot
to
15 to 20
guys.
birds, roughly 16 to 20 birds, actually. How many? I mean, are you shooting out most days? Are you shooting a limit, or how many birds are we shooting on a normal day?
Last year was tough. We I would say average with hunting with 5 guys. Shoot, we were only shooting. I'd say maybe an average of 7, 8 birds. We had a few decent days. That last week of the season, we got all week. We can hunt every day, and I think I hunted. Was it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday? And the last 3 days I hunted by myself because it was slow and people are getting burnt and worn out, and I had a new dog I was training, and so I said I'm hunting. I'm hunting every day. I don't care. The last 3 days of the season, I solo limit every single day.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was
Let me
great.
ask you this, just curious. If the limit was 2 there, would you still hunt just as much as you do now? See, that's what I think that the outfitters really don't understand that. People want to get out and hunt. They don't care if the limit's half of what it is.
Yeah.
We just want the days. We'd rather have 100 days to hunt and kill half the birds than to have 40 days and have a bigger limit. People want to hunt and they want to get out and experience being outdoors and enjoying it. And that's the passion. And that's because I think we're going to see a limit decrease over the next couple of years, especially on ducks, especially in the Central Flyway. And people still going to hunt. People want to go out and shoot. If it's the limit's 2 ducks, they're going to go hunt. The guy's like, well, I spend too much money. If you're thinking you're getting your dollar's worth of value out of shooting ducks, there's no way in hell you eat filet mignon every night.
Yeah. That's some shit. But I'd much rather see a limit decrease than a day decrease. Yeah. I mean, it's a weird deal.
See, we've always wanted to shoot open our because our season opens. I think it's like around the 11th to the 15th, something like that in October. And shoot, we're not really truly goose hunting until sometimes
Wow.
Thanksgiving.
No,
Sometimes it's like, man, open that season later and give us a little bit later because February would be phenomenal.
You think so? So push it back, have it open up mid-November, and then push it to mid-February. When do you shut down? End of January?
Yeah. Last weekend of January.
So you think push it back Valentine's Day? That would be really.
Yeah. Yep. We would have a pretty good February. Our January is to me is our best. I shoot the most birds. We're most successful
October
there.
15th to January 15th there. I would.
Nah. I like it the way.
When do you guys start?
November
6th
this year, but we could start October 15th and shoot geese. We got enough specs here. We'll have, in exactly 2 months, we will have 30,000 specklebellies here. Just calendar birds. I don't give a shit if it's 103 or if it's 43. That's what we're going to have bird-wise.
Yep.
And they'll be here.
I tell you, those specs, I think they are the toughest birds, the smartest birds. They're fun though. I was addicted to them in Canada. We all got to the point where, man, we just want to shoot specs. I mean, and we didn't, honestly, when we first got there, we didn't know what we were doing. I mean, we shoot Canada geese. That's what we shoot. They're a totally different bird. So we thought, we can just, and we did it a couple times. I mean, we just, all our spread was all Canadas. And I'll tell you, it's strange to me because this is what happens every single time with the specs when we're hunting. First light, they're up. They're coming. First light, the sun's just starting to come up. They're finishing in the decoys and the Canada decoys. And we're busting them. As soon as that sun gets up, like clockwork, every single flock come in, they get within that 40-yard range, and they shoot.
Been there.
Yep. T.
We got to the point going, okay, well, once it get 40 yards, we got it. We're shooting them. And we're shooting a lot of specs. But we could not get them. I don't know if it was just the Canada decoys. We didn't have any spec decoys, but that first light, that's where we start questioning things. Is that once that sun starts popping up, it's earlier in the morning.
Right.
They finish, drop right. But after that,
specs are the dumbest birds. But then you'll hunt them 3 days later, and they have become the smartest bird on the entire planet. Because, like you said, there's times where they just ball right up, and you get big numbers of them to do it, and you're thinking, my goodness, they are silly. And then later that week, you might be hunting on a Monday thinking you're King Dick and your shit don't stink, and it doesn't matter. Put me anywhere, motherfucker. I'll go kill my birds. And then you hunt again on Wednesday or Thursday, and you're like, where am I hunting right now? And it changes that fast.
Yeah. Yep. They were definitely humbled me.
It's something else to see. So, do you have a dove season up there?
Oh yeah. September 1st. So what I do is, like I said, I'm 2 hours away. So I'll start dove hunting September 4th, which is a Saturday, Labor Day weekend. I pull my RV up to the farm. My buddy's at his house, he's got a RV full hookup. So I pull it up there 1st of September and leave it there through January. So I go up there, and that's where I stay, and I'm dove hunting every weekend.
It's not too far away. We got about 2 weeks to go, and then we'll be rocking and rolling again.
Yeah. I really use my dove season for training my dog. My dog's what's got me back into the dove hunt. I've always loved dove hunting, but really my big passion is dogs. I mean, I love working dogs. I had the same dog for
Wow.
17 years. Lost November 2020, November 19th. We lost him, and then took me about 4 months later. I went ahead and got another one.
17-year-old
She's a rock
lab is
star.
old.
That's very, very, very old.
And he
Wow.
hunted till 15.
I'm starting to wonder if
Yeah.
that's what trajectory I'm on with Lou.
I hope so for your sake.
Because that son of a bitch, he'll be 10, or is he 10? He'll be 10.
He acts like he's 6 months old still.
I mean, it's insane. I don't know. He is definitely. I think Ron somehow passed along his genes into his dog. I don't know how he did it, but this dog has got the mindset of Ron, just this Brahma bullheaded, doing things on his terms, and pervert. So I think somehow Ron has passed his genetics into his bloodline of dogs.
Dad is looking down, laughing his ass off right now.
I don't know how he did it. I don't know how he did it, if it was like this in vitro thing or if he's putting blood or what. But I have got the most hard-headed dog that
still thinks he's a teenager.
Pervert till the day he dies. And so I hope I'm as lucky as you were with your dog.
Well, Carl, we've appreciated you being on here. You've been a great guest. We wish you the best this season. Try some of them dive bomb decoys and let us know how your season goes. Keep us posted.
Go practice your goose call.
Yeah. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Thank you, sir. You have a great day, and God bless you.
All right, you too.
Bye-bye.
Carl Adcock from Clarkston, Washington.
Washington.
Wonder
where that started. That was an old Northeast thing?
What?
Washington?
I have no idea. Let me tell you about something.
Washington?
Ducks Unlimited, our sponsors, got a DU National Trip Auction. You can get online at godufundraising.com, and you can bid on hunts. They've got tons of hunts. They got everything from waterfowl hunts. They've got bourbon tours. They've got trips to Maui. They got wine tasting tours. All goes to the ducks. Go to dufundraising.com and check them out and go bid on a hunt. They got all kinds of stuff there. They're really good. They got a longtail hunt in Lake Michigan. It's only $500 right now.
Really?
Yep. Be a good bid. Goes for a good cause. Some of the good outfitters are on there. I know a lot of the guys that they've got hunts for on this. So check them out at go.dufundraising.com.
I wonder how many. I'm worried about the guys in Canada this year.
Well, we've already had one guy call us that said that they have had a lot of people that's not canceled because of the jab.
That have canceled.
That were going to come on the deal. I don't think there's anybody in America that hasn't had a jab that's going to go get one now.
Well, did you see the guy from Moderna said he's having to dump 30 million vaccines?
Yeah, because nobody will take them.
Nobody will take them.
Yeah.
But I'm like you. I think if you've got the jab, nobody knew who's getting the jab.
No.
Like that, that ship has sailed.
Yes.
So if you've got the jab and you're going to go to Canada, like if that was the reason you got it 2 years ago, you're going to go to Canada. But I don't think that I don't think Canada is going to be the catalyst for, well, fuck, I guess I better go get the jab now. 2 years later, COVID's over. Sign me up.
Yeah, I don't see it happening. So there are a lot of boys up there struggling with their customers on that deal.
I wish them the best.
Yep.
I mean, it's been tough for those guys for 2 years. So,
and then the price of fuel up there, I can't imagine what it costs up there with all them liberal fuckers. And I feel sorry for the people outside of Vancouver and outside of Toronto and Montreal and Ottawa. Mm-hmm. Most of those people are just like, I mean, they're us.
Yeah.
They're just not they're not represented like we are, and it's going to get tougher. And their gun laws are getting worse. And I've been telling you, if you want to go to Canada, you better get that jab and go now, because if you don't go pretty quick, I just don't see 5 years down the road unless they get a new leader. But little Fidel Castro up there is not going to let people in.
Mm-hmm. Sad, man.
It's a bad, bad, bad deal. Any new shows this week? Did you watch or anything new?
No, Friday was movie night, and then I had a sick kid after that, so I was pretty well.
What are you taking my grandkids to gay shows for?
Yeah, can you believe that? Fuck.
Every show coming out that's for kids has to have a gay scene.
We went and watched Super Pets this weekend. Kids have been dying to see it. Most of the time, we'll do like a quick Google search to see if anything like that crops up. We were just like, you know what, fuck it. It's The Rock. It's Kevin Hart. Like, it's going to be family fun. It'll be fine. It's a cartoon show. We went and watched Super Pets, and then the first 15 minutes of the fucking show, there's a lesbian couple. Personally, I got nothing against lesbian couples, but I don't want to explain to my 7 and 4-year-old why there is 2 women that are now engaged to one another.
Shouldn't have to. That shouldn't even be a factor.
But it's just like, oh my wife, God bless her. That scene comes up and we just look at one another like, how is this necessary? Why is this necessary? Are there that many kids that are being raised in a gay household that they have to put this in? Like, oh, we got our token gay couple. We're good. We can. It'll pass into Hollywood.
But why do we have to have anything like that? That's what.
Well, Superman's making out with Lois Lane, so I don't know. They're canoodling on a park bench. So
the whole situation, though, I don't get. Like,
I'm just glad Superman was straight in this one because I think Superman's gay now or bi. I think I remember.
What a waste of a superhero.
think.
But you look at the movies, kid movies back in the day. Okay, Andy Griffith. You know, him and old Barney were laying the pipe to the ladies in town, I guess.
Well,
so
Barney tried.
He did.
I tell you what, the Me Too movement would get Barney now. He's awfully handsy with Thelma Lou.
Yeah, and then
there's been times she's been like, no, Barney, and he's just going in there.
And then another chick at the cafe, Nita or whatever her name was.
I can't remember. Yeah, Superman has now come out as bisexual in the 5th issue of the DC Comics series. Superman, son of Kal-El, whatever. I'm not a Superman guy anyway.
No, I'm not either.
I'm a Batman fella. He's laying the pipe to all the people.
But I just do not get why we have to even sexualize this shit. Why can't we have a movie like Home Alone? Do you remember anything in Home Alone that was sexual?
Jeff, why do you think they missed their alarm clock?
But
they were laying the pipe to one another.
But there was nothing.
Swingers.
There was nothing on the whole thing.
No.
At all. Huge hit. Huge hit. Uncle Buck.
Uncle
the boy
Buck,
was the guy was trying to fondle the girl, and
right.
But that was the only sexual part on it. It was funny. Well, yeah, and then he was having sex on the lady thought on the washing machine. So well, maybe not Uncle Buck. I started to watch it with your kids that day. I'm glad I didn't now think about that. The Great Outdoors.
Dan Aykroyd makes one little comment.
But I mean,
you don't see anything. Though.
But those movies were good family movies. You could take your family to go watch a movie. There's no movies, man. I was a kid growing up. Now, granted, we had a VCR, but we didn't grow up with we had cable. But if we went to the movies at Christmas time, from Thanksgiving to Christmas, there was tons of good movies. All the good movies come out during that time, and you'd go to the movies on Thanksgiving. The night before Thanksgiving, people would go to the movies, and now there's nothing to take your kids to go see because they sexualize fucking cartoons.
Yeah.
And I just don't get it. I'll tell you something that I think is a really cute cartoon for kids is the Transylvania series.
Yeah.
I think that is a pretty good one. And
a good one.
And they touch on some heterosexual shit, but that's normal. I don't understand why you have to brag about your sexuality. Like the Gay Pride Month. I don't get that. You're gay. Good for you. I don't care.
Right.
You know, I'm straight. That's no big deal either. But you shouldn't have to make it. It shouldn't be something that we go propagate up like it's a big fucking deal because you can have sex.
Well, and then another thing in Super Pets, which is not a big deal to me because I've got the mouth of a sailor. But there was this character that would say curse words. They would just bleep it out.
Why do they even put that in there for kids?
But it's like, and it even said like, "Where the bleep am I?"
Why do you even have to do that?
Like, why? I don't understand what that adds to it. And like I said, I'm not a holier than thou on the cussing thing because I cuss around my kids and they hear cussing and they know.
I get in trouble all the time for cussing around them.
But like, this is a kid's movie. Like,
yes.
What does this add to a kid? Maybe you're making it for the parents. I don't know.
I don't get that either. I think the problem is that Disney and Pixar and all them places that do them movies, they've got a whole load of people that didn't fit in that work there in society. And so, by God, they're going to shove their shit down everybody's throat all the time to show them. I really believe that's the problem.
I'm the one with the I've got this power now, and you're just you're gonna get what I give you.
You know, I'm a girl, and I like other girls, and by God, my dad didn't like me being that way. But by God, I'm going to prove to you that it's not. It's blah blah blah, whatever. Right. But it's not a place for kids. And I don't know any gay couples that are raising kids. I'm sure there are some I know. I just don't know any of them.
You don't personally know any.
I don't personally know of one. I know there's a bunch of them out there. Right. I personally don't know of one of them. But I can't imagine them wanting to shove that lifestyle down their kids' throats.
Especially knowing what they went through?
Yeah. Just have your kid be normal till he's 7th, 8th, 9th grader at least.
Right.
Then if he wants to be gay, then he's gay.
I even think that's Jeff. We just found out your prefrontal cortex doesn't develop till you're 25.
Okay, we'll wait till you're
Mary
25.
Caroline told us this.
Yes.
Don't do anything life altering. Don't get on testosterone blockers. Don't cut off your junk. Don't.
Did her dad go to law school before he was 25 though?
Don't cut off. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't cut off your boobs or anything
Yeah.
like that until you're 25. You want to do it at 25, lop whatever off you want. But until then, you're still developing. Could you imagine? I can't go to war now. I'm 18. My prefrontal cortex is not developed yet.
If what is this Generation Z we have now?
I don't know what the generations are.
Well, whatever
I think it's Gen Z.
whatever the people are now that is 18 to 14 years old, if we had to rely on them to save our ass in any situation, we are screwed with 90% of them. 10% of them are still normal. And I'm going to bet you out of them 10% normal ones, 90% of the 10% live in small towns.
Gen Z was 95 to 2009. Generation Alpha, which not
Them
a whole
some
lot
bitches
of,
ain't no alpha
not
males.
a whole lot of alpha males. 2010 to 2024. After when 2025 gets here, we will be in Generation Beta. So I guess we're just going to go through the alphabet.
Well, the
Every
generation we have
15
now
years.
does not have very many alpha males.
No, I'm raising some, I hope.
You have to. You need to raise alpha males.
Be putting testosterone into their little asses to offset the millennials, Generation Y. So I guess that's what they did the first time.
Okay, let's talk football for a minute.
Hang on, I got to pee and then we can.
Okay.
I've had too much coffee and too much water.
I'm looking through these DU hunts. They've got a sea duck hunt in San Francisco Bay. That would be pretty cool. They got a master stuff. They've got a football suite. They got all kinds of stuff here.
Where's the football suite?
Minnesota and Indianapolis game in Minnesota, I believe.
That'd be pretty cool.
But that would be a cool thing. I mean,
Football, what were you going to say?
Takeaways from this weekend.
I didn't watch any football.
Okay, well, I did a little
I've
bit.
got a takeaway,
New York
but I'm
Jets.
not going to tell you.
New York Jets have to if I guess he had surgery today,
Yeah, he tore his meniscus 2 weeks.
and so he should be back. So that's going to keep Jimmy G still out there. I watched the Cowboy game. Cowboys are in desperate need of a wide receiver. Antonio Brown tweeted out
Call
to
me.
Jerry Jones, "Call me."
Call
I
me.
don't think he's the answer, but he ain't going to hurt nothing. And I don't know if he still has it left, anyways. But they are in trouble. They're going to have to trade for a wide receiver. If James is going to be out 10 weeks and Gallup won't be back till October 1st, they're in desperate need of a wide receiver, big time.
T.O. said to call also.
Well, he's a little old also.
I don't know. I saw pictures of him. He was running with Tyreek.
Shannon Sharp looks like he could still play.
What is it? What do you think it is?
Genetics.
No. T.O. almost beat Tyreek Hill in a foot race.
Tyreek Hill wasn't running fast, running as hard as he can.
That's what you say.
I don't think so.
But what is it that they lose? Is it the quick lateral movement?
Probably the quickness.
Because it's not the overall speed, because T.O.'s running right there with the fastest in the league. So it's not straightaway speed.
It's probably his movement.
So what did
ability.
T.O. lose other than being a pain in the ass?
I think that's what he has is a pain in the ass. I think that's his problem more than anything. It's just a pain in the ass. Same with Antonio Brown. It don't do you any good if the guy's going to get kicked out or his teammates hate him.
Right.
I mean, it don't do you no good to add him to your team.
No, I agree.
And
But
so
there's obviously something that they lose.
someone obviously is going to steal Michael Thomas in this draft.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, they say he's looking good.
I don't think it's going to be a steal.
Oh, okay. So you think he's going to be a second-round draft pick anyways?
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The kid got hurt at Drake London. Kid for Atlanta got hurt. Was going to be their first one. It's good. I'm just ready for football. I'm ready. We start doing our first draft next. Is it next Saturday?
Yeah, the
A week from
27th.
Saturday. A week from Saturday, we
was.
do our first draft. I am so excited about it at all.
I was wrong. I
About-
thought it was the 28th. It was the 27th. I went back and reread the email. There's T.O.
Well, he's sitting 10 yards behind him too, starting.
Oh, I don't remember this part.
Yeah, there's a big difference. He's giving him 10 yards.
Well, that makes more sense now.
Yeah, that little fucker can go too. Look at him.
He doesn't catch T.O. No, I think they do race straight up. Fucking look at T.O. My goodness.
Well,
What is he, 52? He's in his 50s, I know. He was playing with Steve Young. I think right here, they might go head to head. Yeah, here it is, head to head.
Well, he's already a lot faster than he is. He's 3-4 yards ahead of him in 40 yards.
Yeah, but
I mean, he's fast for an old man, but he's not Tyreek Hill.
But to
And Tyreek can cut on a dime and is full speed going the other way too.
maybe that's what it. Maybe it's that quick burst, make a cut and be full speed in 2 steps, like Tyreek can be.
I mean, that's still impressive for a 50-year-old man.
You think he's 50, right?
He's probably pretty close. Hell, he's in the NFL Hall of Fame. He had to sit out at least 5 years to make it.
There's Ocho Cinco.
I'll bet he's 46.
I bet he's 50. I bet he's closer to 50 than he is 45.
Well, I don't know.
And I could be.
I'm
totally
saying
wrong.
46 years old. How old's Tom Brady?
45.
1973. So he is
48.
50 years old next year. 49. He'll be 49 in December. That's amazing.
And I don't know when that video was taken or anything like that. But yeah, I think Brady just turned 45, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe he just turned 46.
What's your bold prediction in the NFL this year? I told you I don't think the Chiefs make the playoffs.
I told you the Raiders. Yeah, he's 45. What's going on? So somebody's talking. He's not going to come back for 2 weeks.
Tom Brady's mom's got cancer real bad.
Oh, is that it?
Is what I had read. Now I don't know if that's true, but that's why he took her. Does he need
Tom
to be there?
Todd Bowles said this was planned already.
That I think his mom's going through some treatments.
Oh, so he probably knew, like, okay, she's gonna
Yes.
take this treatment.
Yeah, I think
right
that
here, and I need 10 days off.
Yes.
He's 45 years old.
He don't need camp.
He doesn't need camp, and he doesn't need to take a snap in the preseason.
No. A little timing maybe with his guys throwing the ball.
Because I think they scrimmage. They scrimmage during the week. Whoever they play in the preseason game on the weekend, they scrimmage them twice during the week.
Right.
So a little bit of brush up work then, and some stuff like that. But he's not going to learn anything. A little bit of timing here and there, like you said, but you're not gonna show him anything he doesn't know.
Do you think Aaron Rodgers plays in the preseason?
No. Hell no. Of course not.
I'm
I wouldn't.
Your light just went out.
Mine did?
Yep.
If I were in charge of a team, none of my guys would play.
No.
I wouldn't start. And Derek Carr's
Came
a
on
middle.
again.
I know. I turned on the switch.
Oh.
Derek Carr is a middle of the road quarterback. I would not start Derek Carr, Devontae Adams, Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow. None of those guys would see a snap.
No. Any guy that's a lock to make the
Jared
team.
Goff would not see much work past this week. Week 3, you're done.
Any team that's a lock, any player's a lock on a roster,
Right.
he would do all his conditioning, he would do practices and stuff, but he wouldn't play in a game against somebody else.
Even Zach Wilson.
Did you see the guy make the late hit on Jalen Hurts?
Yeah. He got walloped.
Yeah. Why take that chance?
Exactly.
Jalen Hurts wouldn't play again in preseason either.
No. You'd be done.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he's a lock. They're saying he might be benched.
Jalen Hurts?
Yes.
No, he's
Yes,
not either.
I'm telling you.
You're trying to.
I'm telling you.
It ain't happening, Andy.
I'm telling you.
Who's going to start over him?
Fucking Minshew.
Minshew ain't starting over Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is a lock.
Jeff, look at this schedule.
A lock.
Look at this schedule.
A lock.
Jeff,
I'm telling you, the Eagles are my
Jeff.
Super Bowl team
Jeff.
for the NFC this year.
you're not listening.
I am.
Look at this schedule. It's Murderer's Row.
They got the same schedule the Cowboys have.
I hate the way that they do this. Eagles is a win. Loss. Win.
They're not losing to the
Loss.
Vikings at home.
They're losing to the Vikings.
No, not at home. They're not.
7:30 game.
No.
Crumble in prime time.
No.
Vikings.
No.
Skull, baby. So you have them 3-0 right there.
I have them probably 5-0 going in to play Dallas. And Dallas is playing in Philly, and they're going to split.
They lose to the Cardinals.
No, they don't.
Kyler Murray's going to
Kyler Murray
he's
is so
studying.
overrated.
He's studying for 4 hours a week. Kyler Murray's the man right there.
The
So
Cardinals.
That's 4-1.
No.
4-1 going into the Cowboys. Yeah, he's not going to get benched. That schedule's way too easy.
Yeah, he's going to play. If they beat Dallas, them and Dallas will split. So if they beat them, they're 6-0. If they lose, they're 5-1. They played the Steelers. I think they beat the Steelers. I don't think the Steelers are that good. The Texans are not.
No, they're not that good.
They have a chance legitimately to be 8-2, 9-1, 7-3 right through the Packer game.
And then it's all going to, if they can stay healthy right through here. And that's a cupcake.
They have an easy schedule.
They've got, well, I think the Cowboys have the easiest schedule.
Yeah,
think.
because they're playing the.
But I mean, they're playing the same schedule as the Cowboys
They play the NFC North this year.
and the AFC North. Well, do they play the AFC North?
No,
or do they
that's
just play the
the
Steelers?
game 17. They get the Steelers. They get a random person out of each one.
So they got what, the AFC South, which is atrocious. You got the NFC North, which Packers and Vikings.
I'm going to tell you, whoever wins the NFC East, if one of those teams gets hot, and it could be any four of them, because they're really all four about the same. I don't think there's much difference. One of those teams gets lucky and gets hot and goes 13-4 or 12-5. They're looking at a first round bye.
Yeah.
Or a chance at a first round bye, because only one team gets first round bye now. Because I don't think the NFC's got the super team. I don't think Tampa Bay's a super team. You know, Green Bay and Minnesota is going to be pretty. They're
going to be tough.
It's going to be a tough deal. The NFC West is going to be tough. So who knows?
Patriots have the toughest schedule. I don't think they've done enough. They say they're looking terrible. They got their defensive coordinator is now their offensive coordinator. He's calling plays, so that's a recipe for disaster.
They have
the Jets have the tough schedule. They're going to be awful again.
New England has the next Jimmy G though.
Just doesn't make a lot of mistakes.
No, that kid. God dang it. I can't think of his damn name now. It's their third string quarterback. He played. He is very good. He was a 4th or 5th round pick. Max Bailey, maybe, or something. Anyways, he was a. That's not the name. He's got a different name. Zappy is his name.
Oh, okay.
He was the number 1 quarterback for yards at Western Kentucky. He went to Houston Baptist. He's a Texas kid. Then he went to Western Kentucky and set every record through 63 touchdown passes last year. And I listened to him when they were drafting last year, and a couple of the guys on one of the things I listened to on the NFL Network was talking about this kid was a wild card. He said this kid's really, really good. Right. New England took him, and he played in that game. He played the whole second half, and he played really, really good the other day. And I can see him, if Mac Jones gets hurt and he gets some playing time and is pretty irrelevant, another big trade bait guy for them. Because I think Mac Jones is a good quarterback.
He's serviceable.
Did you see where what's his name got hurt again? McKeel Harry went to the Bears. The Bears are going to be horrible.
Yeah. Strength of schedule, Ravens at the bottom. They got the easiest schedule. Steelers, Cowboys. And then the Eagles are 25.
But you notice Washington and New York Giants because it's who they play.
That still says the Redskins. Those racist motherfuckers at CBS
I'm
Sports.
surprised somebody
is
making a loser job over that.
Some poor intern has just got hired on at CBS. He's going to get fired now.
Or he's locked into a job like the people that make kiddie movies.
The Bengals, if they've got that easy of a schedule, I wonder what their schedule looks like.
They're not getting a lot of love though for some reason.
Why? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, they returned their whole team.
Yeah, and they made their offense. What happened? They made their offensive line better. Cincinnati Bengals.
I can't believe you don't like Dan Campbell.
I don't dislike him. He just seemed a little corny with some of that shit he's saying. He didn't. His first speech, and we'll tread water longer than you. It's like, no, you won't. You're terrible.
They weren't really that bad last year.
You're going to get taken. You're going to get taken to the deep water. He said, we'll hold on until we drown you. No, you against who?
I think a team takes on its coach's personality, and coaches like that don't do very well. John Madden done really good, but there's not a lot of those rah-rah. Bill Cowher was really good at it.
Right.
But most of your really successful football coaches are quiet guys.
Yeah.
Engineer type guys. Jimmy Johnson was a rah-rah guy. Dan Campbell has got a bunch of young players.
I don't think Bill Belichick is given a speech like that at the beginning of the season.
How was he when he first started, though, was he? That's
Maybe.
the difference.
I don't know.
Nick Saban,
Nick Saban's also a college coach.
Well, no, but he's that kind of coach, though. He's not a raw type of guy.
You don't think Nick Saban is? I think Nick Saban will chew your shit.
He'll chew your ass out, but I don't think, and so will Bill Belichick. But I don't think he's one that's going to get up there and make.
I bet he is.
And put crunches with you and shit.
No, definitely not doing that. But I bet he's given the preseason hype speech.
They won't even. They would not. They took down. They had a trophy. I guess you get trophy if you get. Like if you, I don't know, would you win a game or you lose a game? Like the runner-up trophy.
Mm-hmm.
They threw that some bitch away.
Who?
Alabama did.
Well, fuck yeah.
Says that's not up to our standards.
That's not what we're doing here. We're not runners up.
Okay, let's do this. Let's get off of here.
Okay, Bengals start out with the Steelers. I'm saying that's a win. Would you disagree?
No, I agree.
Ooh.
I think they'll beat Dallas. Boy, Dallas has got. Does Dallas open up with Tampa Bay?
Yeah.
So Dallas has got Tampa Bay and Cincinnati back to back.
Yep. I'm gonna say at Jerry World, Cowboys are phenomenal in September. I'm gonna give that to the Cowboys just because of what I know that they do in September.
It's going to be a shoot. I mean, but it's
going to be a
if
good game.
Dallas's offense don't get better, they'll get run out of that field.
They could,
because Cincinnati's going to score some points.
They very well could. I'm only giving that to the Cowboys just because they're playing in
you
Dallas.
figure they're not going to be 0-2.
You would figure.
Yeah,
It's in Dallas. Dallas is phenomenal. If you look at their September record, probably the best in the league.
No,
They're great.
No.
They're great in September and October. They fall to shit later on. Another win. So depending on how you have it, 3-0 or 2-1.
The Dolphins are going to be good,
They'll be good. They're playing in Cincinnati, primetime game.
and then they get the Ravens.
That'll be a loss.
Then they get the Saints, and I'm telling you right now, the Saints. A lot of people still think they're going to be pretty good. I just don't see it, but
I don't either.
I just don't. Jameis Winston, if they can score some points, their defense is good. There's no doubt. They have a great defense.
So what do we have them at? Win.
2-1.
That's a toss-up.
I have them 3-2 after 5 games.
I could see that
3-2 after 5 games because they're going to lose.
Because I think they're either gonna lose one of these, 2 of these 3 games right here,
Yes, I agree.
and they're gonna. I think it's pretty well safe to say they're gonna win these 2.
The Steelers and the Jets should be.
So
locks.
I'll go 3-2 right there.
3-2. Saints could be 3-3 or it could be 4-2.
I'm gonna go 4-2.
Okay, and they're going to beat the Falcons.
5-2
The Browns, who knows?
depends on
Supposedly
what
Deshaun, but he looked fucking horrible the other day.
So what do we have, Matt?
That's 5-3 or 6-2. Panthers, I don't think are going to be very good. That's a win. The Titans, who knows?
Loss. I think Chiefs win.
So they're going to end up 12-5 probably. 13-4,
another
12-5, or
They'll probably
11-6.
split. They'll probably split with the Ravens.
Yes.
Buccaneers will be a tough one. 13-4.
Yeah, somewhere
Ish.
12-5. Look at the Cowboys schedule real quick before we get off here.
I thought we did this.
We did, but I didn't realize they had back-to-back games they got. They started out the year.
Is the Cowboys.
Buccaneers.
They get them at home.
It don't matter, though. I mean, Dallas at
That
home.
is
Dallas's
the
home
Sunday.
record
That
is
is
not.
the Sunday night game.
I bet Dallas's home record in the last 5 years is probably 50-50.
We can look that up before we get off.
They get the Buccaneers, the Bengals back to back, and the Giants.
Could
very
easily
improved team.
be 0-2.
Yep. If Dallas Cowboys are 2-0 going into the Giants, they're going to have a really good year. But they're going to be 1-1 probably. But I wouldn't be surprised they're 0-2. And I'm going to tell you right now, the Giants ain't going to be no easy mark either.
They don't have a receiver, Jeff.
Huh?
They don't. Kenny Golladay looks terrible.
He does look terrible right now.
Kadarius Toney got hurt again. I mean, they don't have anybody they can throw the ball to, aside from Saquon. And I really want Saquon on my fantasy team. But if they don't have a passing game that takes some pressure off of them, I think you're going to see fucking a stacked box.
Sterling Shepard's good. He's damn good.
I think you're going to see a stacked box. Anybody that takes Saquon. And if I can get him at the right price, he's who I'm pulling the trigger on in round 2. But I'm scared to death that it's going to be 8-9 in the box, and Daniel Jones is not going to be able to take any pressure off the run game.
All right, let's go. So
Okay.
So 2-1, 1-2 right there. Who knows?
Okay.
Cowboys and Commanders. Dallas's offensive line versus Washington's. If they have their defensive line they had 2 years ago, that could be a game. Who knows? Dallas will not beat the Rams if Stafford's healthy. Will not happen.
So what are you saying? 3-2?
3-2 right there.
Okay. 3-3.
I think the Eagles bit their ass.
4-3.
4-3. 5-3. 5-4. 5-5. 6-5.
7-5.
I don't know. I wouldn't be. I mean, who knows?
8-5.
Yeah.
Or 9-4, right there.
I think Dallas, when all the paint dries, Dallas is going to be 9-8 when the season ends.
So let's say we have them at 9-4, right there, right?
No, I never had them at 9-4. They're going to split with the Giants. They're going to split with the Eagles. They're going to split with
I
Washington.
don't think they split with the Giants. I think they split with the Eagles, and that's it.
You don't think the Redskins beat them one game?
There are no Redskins, and I don't know what you're talking about. But I don't think the Commanders are going to beat them either.
Yes, I think so. Why do you think Dallas has gotten has gotten worse than last year? They did not improve their football team anywhere at all.
3-2. Right?
3-3.
3-3.
4-3. 5-3. 5-4. 5-5.
That's right.
6-5, 6-6, 7-6, 8-6, and I would not be surprised if that's a loss.
To Jacksonville?
Jacksonville, boy, a lot of people think they're really going to be a lot better. They got a great defense.
You're just hating on the Cowboys.
No.
way too
I
much
think
here.
Dallas
I
is
don't
going to be
think-
9-8. Dallas always loses to a game. Dallas plays to the level of whoever they play
do.
all the time. They always lose a game every year to a team they should win every single year. I think Dallas ends up 9-8.
I would tell you my fantasy strategy, but I don't want you stealing it.
Okay, and you see that Cowboys and Titan game, the next last game. Tennessee's going to probably be playing for a chance to win the division, and they're going to run fucking big donkey dick right down your ass the whole time.
They might. If he's healthy, he's got to that magical number.
And that big old donkey dick hanging out of his helmet. And that sucker can play football. If he's healthy, and they play great defense. See, that's the deal. Dallas's offensive line's horrible, and they have gotten no younger. If they get any kind of injuries at all, their last 3 games are against teams that are all good defensively, really good defensively.
I'm trying to find.
Dallas is going to go 9-8.
That's just I don't disagree with that. 9-8, 10-7. You had some losses in there that I don't know about,
But they always play to the level of who they play, and that's why they're hard to pick.
that's just their schedule on the road. I want their overall schedule for the month of September.
All right, let's get off here. I got stuff I got to do. We can
I do
argue.
too,
We
Jeff.
got football season coming up.
I got a meeting I got to go to. Important shit. I'm not going to find it, so
right.
it doesn't matter. All right, everybody. Let's see. Well, this is, everybody have a great week, and then we got what? Benny Richards on
Yes.
later.
Yep.
Texas Game Warden. He was on Lone Star Law.
Talk
Should
about
be-
his new book. He's got 2 books out, just retired off of Lone Star Law. We'll have him on later this week, and then at the end of the week, we finish it up
Lee and his
with
son.
Lee and Luke Chose, and we will talk Game Fair, Boss, Canada, and whatever else we could talk about.
We'll see. Bye, everybody. Go check out all of our great sponsors. Go check out Gundog Outdoors, Shin Gear Waders, Lucky Duck, Looking Glass Duck Club Podcast, Alpha Outdoor Specialties, Bangtail Whiskey, Stanfield Hunting Outfitters, Dirty Duck Coffee, Ducks Unlimited. Sign up for some of those hunts that they've got. Double T British Kennels, Pacific Calls, Dive Bomb Industry, and Boss Shot Shows.